media company, but also a bridge that connects dreams with opportunities.
This event is highly aligned with President Bio's Big Five game changers, particularly the emphasis on human capital development and youth employment scheme. It also reflects the company's commitment to make human resources strategy a core driver of ESG, environmental, social, and governance sustainability.
According to the Human Resource Director, CRSG has been recruiting various excellent vocational skills talents, including civil engineering technicians, machinery operators, machinery repairers, and more. He added that the company adheres to regular employment practices and labor laws. Students were taken on a guided tour showcasing CRSG construction technologies and management systems, offering them first-hand insight into the scale and complexity of the company's work across the country. Principal, Freetown Polytechnic, Dr. Samba Moriba, and an engineering student, Kumba Nancy Yongai, lauded the initiative, noting that it was impactful and the knowledge gained has equipped students with real-world insights and potential career pathways in engineering, construction, and project management.
One of the importance of this event is the idea of us understanding each other's culture and appreciating our way of life. But more importantly, there are the opportunities that lie ahead. Our students will have the opportunity to first thing collaborate with other students in China, but also there is the tendency that, or the chance for them to travel to China also.
I want to say thank you to the CIS for this such great platform and learning to all of the engineering students, especially the Freetown Polytechnic students.
The event also featured a display of Chinese culture and interactive sessions that celebrated the friendship between Sierra Leone and China. For Slbc News, Estanine Kamara reporting.
The ECOWAS and its partners, including the European Union, Germany, and Spain, have launched 4 projects worth 105 million euros in the fields of peace, security, and regional economic integration in West Africa. These initiatives are aimed at strengthening trade competitiveness and market access, improving peace and security, instituting capacity, and enhancing trade in services in the ECOWAS region. The launch ceremony held at the ECOWAS Commission headquarters in Abuja marked the commencement of the following project: ECOWAS Peace, Security and Governance Project, Institutional Support to ECOWAS Phase 2, Africa Trade Competitiveness and Market Access Program, and ECOWAS component on the African Continental Free Trade Area and the Services component. ECOWAS also collaborated with GIF, the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, the International Trade Center, and Expertise France, among others. The Women's Forum Sierra Leone, with York University in Canada, has launched a research initiative focusing on decolonial reparative justice for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. It is a move to change the narrative on the lasting effects of colonization and civil wars on societies, and to advance survivor-centered justice in post-conflict societies. Aminata Bangura has more.
Research titled Building an International Partnership to Research and Address Reparative Justice in Post-Conflict Situations was to help create new inclusive agendas for reparation in communities affected by war, displacement, and colonization. According to the team, the study would collect data on decolonial approaches to sexual gender-based violence and explore how survivors in Sierra Leone and across Africa define justice, healing, and accountability. It would also see participants sharing their views through sessions for in-depth analysis. The lead researcher of the program, Rosalind McCarthy, said another aim was to ensure that survivors themselves were placed at the heart of decision-making. This, she noted, will allow survivors to fully articulate their needs and ensure those needs were adequately addressed.
Since the reparations program closed, there were many more who did not benefit from reparation. And we have been working, we have been working with them all along, and they recognize us as one key organization that has been taking their problems and discussing, just talking with them has meant a lot to them.
The Vice President of the Women's Forum Sierra Leone, Cecilia Bangua, said the institution has played a crucial role in supporting survivors, particularly through skills training and empowerment programs. She explained that survivors have been trained in various skills such as garatai dyeing and weaving. She also said some of the survivors have been taken to international conferences to share their stories and learn from other survivors. Madam Bangura added they likewise encourage them to apply the knowledge and skills they have acquired to improve their own lives and their communities.
One, training them in skills building, and while they have been exposed, the forum usually take them out of the country to attend conferences so that they have the opportunity to interact with other survivors from other countries, for them to know exactly what is happening in other countries.
The collaboration with York University in Canada for over 15 years was set to build innovative reparative policies in Sierra Leone and also contribute to a broader global movement for justice, dignity, and accountability for survivors of conflict-related, sexual, and gender-based violence. For SLBC News, Aminata Bangua reporting.
Two UK-based philanthropists, Theodosia Haddon and Victor Wise, have donated information technology equipment to their alma mater, Bishop Johnson Memorial Secondary School on Fwabe Road in Freetown. The donated items included computers, printers, and paper to support the school's document management needs. They said it was a way to give back to the school that contributed meaningfully to their lives.
2 years ago, Theodosia visited Sierra Leone to participate in Bishop Johnson Memorial School's Foundation Day celebrations. During that visit, they identified critical gaps in the school's resources, which inspired this timely support. According to their representative, Theo Arden, both philanthropists who are alumni of the school provided the equipment to the school to help teachers with modern learning and technology and to ensure important documents were printed in high quality and kept safe. He said they expressed appreciation to the school authorities for upholding the school's legacy and pledged to continue providing support. The principals and teachers were proud that many former pupils were now contributing to national development, while applauding the gesture by the two philanthropists. They pledged to use the donated equipment responsibly and encouraged current pupils to take their academic work seriously and emulate the donors' example. A free IT learning session for both pupils and teachers to enhancing digital skills and promoting technology in education was also declared on the very day. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
As part of the Day of the African Child commemoration, UNICEF Sierra Leone has hosted a media briefing under the theme Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights Progress since 2010. The event brought together journalists and child rights advocates to reflect on the country's financial commitment to children and how media can spotlight both progress and challenges towards children welfare in the country. Aminata Bangura has more on that.
The media engagement brought together journalists, policy experts, and child advocates to discuss how public finance policies in Sierra Leone are impacting the well-being of the nation's children, who make up nearly half of the country's population. In her opening statement, the Chief of Communication, Advocacy and Partnerships at UNICEF Sierra Leone, Susan Wooster, said that investing in children's rights was not just a moral duty but a strategic path to building a stronger and more resilient nation. She said the event was designed to offer updates on key issues related to child focus, financing in Sierra Leone, shared progress and highlight gaps.
It's essential to build a more resilient and productive future for all. With just 5 years remaining to achieve the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, now is the time to accelerate meaningful progress for every child.
The UNICEF representative to Sierra Leone, Rudolf Schweck, emphasized the significance of this year's theme, adding that the Day of the African Child is a moment for the continent to access progress and recommit to ensuring child's rights are protected and prioritized. He said planning and budgeting for children's rights is a shared national responsibility.
Today is very special, as you have seen in the invitation, because Sierra Leone joins the rest of the continent in marking the Day of the African Child, which is always on an annual basis a moment for reflection and renewed commitment, and to see how collectively we have come towards the advancing of rights for children. It was established by the Organization of African Unity, which now is the African Union. So it's really an African initiative, and they have yearly themes to put focus on certain aspects. And this year's theme is planning and budgeting for children's rights. And that is very timely and really relevant, as you for sure know, because it's about prioritizing that the youngest citizens in every stage of planning and every line of the national budget are included. And actually, it is a follow-up, because in 2010, 15 years ago, the Day of the African Child had the theme Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights, a collective responsibility.
The social policy specialist at UNICEF Sierra Leone, Sebastian Akonwole, who delivered a thematic reflection on public finance for children in Sierra Leone, he examined the adequacy, efficiency, equity and sustainability of child-focused spending in the country. UNICEF reaffirmed its commitment to working with the media and other partners to ensure that every child in Sierra Leone has access to essential services and a future filled with opportunity, protection and hope. SLBC News, Aminata Bangua reporting.
You're still watching news from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. We continue with more stories. Now, school authorities at Grace Primary Methodist School in Brookfield have called on government, humanitarian aid and NGOs to provide support in improving the school's facilities and condition. The call was made after the International School Limited donated a 500 ml tank and assorted items to the school authority in commemoration of the International Day of the Girl Child on June 16. Moses Conte was there and tells us more.
Over the years, Grace Primary Methodist School has been serving as a major learning center, not only for parents with children, but was a center of which 50% of its population are orphans. But since its establishment in 2001, nothing seems to have changed in the infrastructure, basic facilities such as water, access to toilet facilities and more. This has over the years prompted most teachers to leave the school for greener pastures elsewhere. According to one of the nursery teachers, Salim Ansari, the pupils often find it difficult to learn, especially during the rains. Because of this appalling situation, the International School Limited has donated 5,000 ml thanks, assorted items such as books, pencils, rice, clothing and more to pupils, staffs and the school administration. According to the committee leader, Madam Johnson, the dilapidating state of the school, especially in terms of basic amenities such as pipe-on water and others, caught their attention.
So we try to help children to live the same standard just like our own children are doing. They help other children so that we spur them up to learn more. Their environment should be convenient for them to learn. The teachers, we try to encourage them, motivate them, so that they will be able to help the children also. But we normally do this one every June 16.
In receiving the items, Headmistress Grace Primary Methodist School, Agnes John, applauded the international school while calling on authorities and partners for swift intervention to evacuate cars that have occupied the school compound, leaving the pupils in tight condition.
We don't know what to say because this school was built by the European Union since 2001. And up to now, as you can see, that is a whole building there. As you can see, we've just been managing. Actually, we are facing water challenges. These children have to go extra mile. Maybe they go up the streets or to these boreholes, neighborhood boreholes. Even at times they drive them out of the place. They don't even have water to drink. We are really struggling to have water. Even to take care of the toilet, the cleaners are complaining. We are really struggling for water. Well, we are also facing this car park challenge. This car park is also a challenge for us because when we are walking, the noise, in fact, some of these people thought that this place is a garage. They come in and just do whatever they like, start cars, even if when the children are playing, they drive cars all around. And it's very, very bad for these children. We have to be out, the teachers have to be out saying, move this way, come out of this way, come out of this way. I'm really grateful to God for them. God will richly bless them for thinking about these children. Because I'm sure one or two of these teachers have seen these children strolling around to find water.
Moses Conte, SLBC.
Now, the leader of the opposition in Parliament, Honorable Abdul Kagbo, has stormed the south for the construction of an 11-classroom building in Conakry D-Town, Butloko district. The Sierra Memorial Preparatory School was said to be the first preschool in the town when completed. The gesture, according to the Honorable Member of Parliament, was to build a solid learning foundation and to develop the children for the future. Our intern reporter, Tawia Woodlots, witnessed the turning of the sword.
It was a moment of jubilation in Conakry D, Mayaya section Lunge, as parents and children sang songs and danced in appreciation of a proposed gesture by Honorable Abdul Kagbo and his wife to give a facelift to the Sierra Memorial Preparatory School in Lunge. Sierra Memorial Preparatory School was said to be the foundation of primary education in Conakry D, Mayaya section Lunge, because it was the first primary school constructed in that part of the country. Despite being the foundation of primary education in Conakry D, the makeshift structure, leaking roof and appalling facilities seem to be undermining the relevance of primary education in that part of the country. The reason Honorable Abdul Kagbo and his wife were moved to change such dynamics. The proposed new Sierra Memorial Preparatory School would have 11 classrooms, toilets for both boys and girls, among other facilities, to replace the current makeshift structure. The gesture moved everyone, including teachers, parents, and the pupils, as they narrated the struggle they have been facing due to lack of permanent and conducive learning environment.
We are happy when they are coming to make our schools. Some schools, they are laughing our schools. They said our schools, they are bad.
I feel happy because the other schools, they will be get out of the community. What would they send with picking and they will pay but money, transport, every day will they pay transport.
Tell what thing is you want the vehicle, there's a goodness and continue for this.
Children in the WAF, children at the back of their mothers at the WAF, there are a lot of constraints. But having this school has moved so much the community. Now we can have a child at the age 2 and 3 who can try academically now.
The initiative, according to Honorable Abdul Kagbo, came during an interactive discussion between his child and children in the community during an Eid prayer.
This is part of our own sacrifice to humanity, and as the motto of the school is, it is an attempt to nurture leaders. We nurture leaders. Because when we initially came here, this school has operated for over 4 years. When we initially came here, the kids can't even talk Creole. It had to take us time for them to begin to speak English. And now I can tell you without any scintilla of doubt that they can speak English fluently with ease.
This is the 4th year since the school was founded in September 2021, and it is the Honorable and his wife that have been supporting the children and teachers with salary, learning materials, and offering periodic feeding programs to keep the children healthy and focused. As the people celebrate this milestone, one thing was clear: the impact will be felt for generations to come.
The China Sabia Friendship Hospital has organized a special outreach program at the St. George Foundation along the region's highway in Grafton. The medical outreach included a range of health services such as height and weight measurements, developmental assessments, among others. The initiative was also to commemorate the Day of the African Child. Aminata Fofana reports.
The medical outreach included a range of health services such as height and weight measurements, developmental assessments, scoliosis screening, diagnosis of common illnesses, and health education on respiratory, digestive, and skin conditions. The founder of the St. George Foundation reflected on the challenges faced in establishing the children's home, highlighting resilience and determination as the cornerstones of the foundation's journey. She expressed a deep appreciation for the support, noting that the assistance was both timely and beneficial to the children. She also emphasized the significance of the partnership with the Chinese medical team and appealed for continued collaboration in other areas of need. Head of the Chinese medical team, Liu Longfei, described the initiative as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen ties between China and Sierra Leone. He commended the foundation for its progress and encouraged the team to maintain its positive momentum. The celebration also featured cultural exchange activities, including drama performances and a language learning session aimed at fostering mutual understanding and friendship between the participants. SLBC News, Aminata Fofana.
And now, in a remarkable milestone, Fairway has celebrated their 30 years anniversary, an event that unveils their unwavering commitment in empowering women and girls' empowerment in the country. Over 500 scholarships and over 1,000 employments have been handed to women and girls through their reign. Cynthia Kamal witnessed the celebration and now reports.
This success story shows Fairway Sierra Leone commitment to ensure girls not only access education but thrive academically and overcome societal challenges.
Since 1995 till date, Forum for African Women Educationalists FAWI has been an evidence of passionate advocacy, having touched and transformed the lives of many women and girls across the country. Partners, beneficiaries, and representatives from different ministries stood in solidarity and acknowledgement of the lives they have touched.
We must continue to train and support our teachers, particularly on the teaching and learning methodology, so that teaching becomes meaningful, teaching becomes enjoyable for the learners, and that's the only way we shall have learners transitioning from one stage of education to another.
National Chair, FAWI, Dr. Olivia Arima Wesley, noted 3 decades is a testament of their transformative journey in gender-responsive practice and inclusive society. National Coordinator FAWI Joseph Alpha Kamara highlighted their success stories over the years, which include the provision of scholarships to students and girls from low-income homes, training of over 2,000 teachers on gender-responsive pedagogy. To break gender stereotype, Mr. Kamara added that over 2,000 employment were created for marginalized women, as well as training of 750 female teachers, among other achievements. Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs, Dr. Aissata Mahoy, described the event as a call to action to ensure every girl has the right and support to access education free from state barriers.
As I stand here as the Minister of Gender and Children's Affairs, I affirm my support for programs that help girls stay in school, including support for survivors of abuse and marginalized learners. We believe in empowering families and communities to support girls' education as a shared responsibility, and we are strengthening data systems for better track and progress to guide our interventions.
The 3 decades anniversary, according to Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education Conrad Saki, is a mirror reflecting a legacy of transformed lives and liberated voices.
We must deepen our investment in teacher quality, ensuring that every classroom is led by someone equipped not just to teach, but to understand and empower. We must guarantee that every learning space is safe, inclusive, and free from violence and shame. We must target disparities between rural and urban, rich and poor, and ensure that no region is left behind.
Other partners present appraise the goodwill of FAWI's tireless advocacy for women and girls and affirm their continued collaboration with them. Foundation members and visionaries of FAWI in the like of Dr. Christiana Top, Mrs. Marion Morgan, Mrs. Rhoda Kesise, Mrs. Josephine Nico, and Mrs. Shirley Rogers-Wright, among others, were praised and recognized for their immense service to the growth and transformation of women and girls in Sierra Leone. For SABC News, Cynthia Kamara reporting.
In a major step towards sustainable forest management, the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, in partnership with the UNDP, has launched the Tawia Woodlots project in Binla Chiefdom, Kambia district. The initiative aims to promote alternative tree planting for energy and clean cooking, as the SACO reports.
The launch of the Tawia Woodlots project in Binla Chiefdom, Kambia district brought together government officials, traditional leaders, local council members, and community residents. For years, Tawia residents have relied on forestees for daily needs, leading to massive deforestation. With this project, the community begins a new journey, planting trees to protect, not destroy the forest. As part of the People's Center and Sustainable Development portfolio, the project introduces managed woodlots to provide sustainable sources of fuel, timber, and income, easing pressure on natural forests and tackling climate change. Paramount Chief of Binla Chiefdom, Alimami Sori, expressed appreciation for selecting his chiefdom. He stressed the loss of ancestral trees over the years and highlighted the project's environmental and economic benefits. He also called for financial support for past tree planting activities and requested storage for the tools provided.
I believe that that one is going to help us and it's going to help the community. So we look forward not only as a one-year project, but some amount of additional years to enhance sustainability of the project.
The community showed their readiness by forming a woodlots committee presented by the Paramount Chief to manage the implementation of the project.
This will help us provide for our families.
As women, we have struggled a lot, but with this project, we believe things will improve.
Put hand on that for let this boy to go before.
The Director of Forestry, Kate Garnett, praised the chiefdom's commitment. She announced the distribution of 10,400 seedlings and working tools and assured that UNDP funds for the one-year project were ready for disbursement. A second component of the project will distribute clean cooking stoves aimed at reducing dependence on traditional firewood. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Environment and Climate Change, Elizabeth Awa-Eli, urged the community to develop bylaws to ensure the sustainability of the woodlots.
For ensure, say, this particular woodlot for they make, if for there with a period of 30 time before they begin to go as a fund director. If we say that 3 years, based on the species, the type of seedling where they plant, we for put up our bylaw say after 3 years that person will go cut, and you know they go cut some more until permission is given to you to cut to harvest.
Lunch concluded with the handover of tools to the Tawia Woodlots Committee, marking a hopeful step forward in grassroots climate action. Slbc News, Esther Sako reporting.
Well, it's now time for our international news.
Welcome to the international news. I am Aminata Fofana. Iran and Israel have exchanged airstrikes for a fifth day in a row, with the mutual attacks resulting in dozens of casualties in both countries. The Israeli Defense Force says Tehran launched 30 missiles into the country in an attack early this morning. A spokesperson for the military says that while most of them were intercepted, some of the missiles did make impacts. Iran's ambassador to the United Nations, Amir Saidi Irvani, told the Security Council that Tehran's retaliation was proportionate and in self-defense. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump left the G7 summit in Canada a day early because of the situation in the Middle East. He urged people to evacuate Tehran, triggering speculation of a major Israeli offensive, and reiterated that Iran should have signed a nuclear deal with Washington. A government agency in Togo said they have suspended broadcasts by 2 French state-owned networks for 3 months for an alleged lack of impartiality in their reporting. Radio France Internationale and France 24 are the networks being suspended. The move to censor foreign media outlets comes as President Faure Gnassingbe faces increasing pressure from critics over recent changes in the constitution that could effectively keep him in power indefinitely. Demonstrations are rare in Togo because they have been banned in the country since 2022 following a deadly attack at Lomé's main market. But the latest change in government structure has been widely criticized in a region threatened by rampant coups and other threats to democracy. Not one suspect in prison in Haiti has faced trial after being accused in the killing of President Jovenel Moïse, who was gunned down at his home nearly 4 years ago. Gun violence, death threats, and a crumbling judicial system have stalled an ongoing investigation defined by outbursts and tense exchanges between suspects and judges. 6 Haitian judges have been assigned to investigate whether there is sufficient evidence to warrant a trial for the 20 suspects still detained in the troubled Caribbean country. Among them are 17 former soldiers from Colombia and 3 Haitian officials, a former policeman and Joseph Badiou, who once worked for Haiti's Ministry of Justice and at the government's anti-corruption unit until he was fired for alleged ethics violations. Now, judges are tasked with starting the investigation anew. And Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni has signed into law an amendment that will allow once again civilians to be tried in military courts under certain circumstances. Parliamentarians passed the amendment last month amid a heavy police presence and boycott by opposition lawmakers who argued that it violated the ruling by the country's highest court. In January, The judges said that the military courts were neither impartial nor competent to exercise judicial functions. Opposition leader Bobby Wine said the law would be used against him and others. That's the international news.
Many thanks to Aminata Fofana for the international news. Let's now find out the latest in sports.
Hello, it's Sports Update on the news with me, Mohamed Lamintri. In this edition of the update, we are at the Slafa Academy as the Reality Football Club, in collaboration with the Sustainable Sports, has ended a one-day football clinic. Let's join Abdul Kabir for more details.
Promising young footballers across Freetown took part in an impactful one-day clinic, a collaborative effort between Reality Sports Club and Sport for Sustainable Development, hosted at the Sierra Leone Football Association Academy. The initiative was designed to cultivate a lasting sporting environment that supports the holistic development and well-being of teenage players. The clinic offered an immense and practical experience for the youngsters, and providing comprehensive instructions to essential football drills and fundamentals techniques. The core objective was to establish a robust foundation for their continued advancement in the sport. Auna Kagbo, head coach and trainer of Support Sports in Sierra Leone and Superstar Football Academy, emphasized the vital importance of such development clinics. The essence of this clinic is to help these teenagers not just reach but truly exceed their aspiration in the game.
With this, it gave a good impact to the kids in life. One, it keep them fit because this exercise alone, it make them, even some sick, not able to stay in your system. Then one thing, then two, their movement, they are some parents and they do not get the access. We now don't want to have to demonstrate.
Underscoring the commitment to unlocking each player's full potential. Other members of the local football community present at the event shared similar sentiment. They highlighted the critical need to actively enhance the skill and ambitions of these young players to ensure the sustained growth of Sierra Leonean football in the years to come. The day concluded in an engaging discussions and, significantly, a comprehensive teamwork. This session was strategically designed to re-evaluate and positively redirect the future trajectory of the game for the participating teenagers. This collaborative endeavor represents a significant stride towards empowering the next generation of football stars in Sierra Leone. Abdul Kabir, SLBC Sport, Freetown.
Now in the international scene, we look at the FIFA World Club Cup, which is ongoing as the opening ceremony has commenced with electrifying moments. But that's all we have in this edition of the update. Thank you very much for joining me. I am Mohamed Lamintwe, and goodbye.
Many thanks to our sports desk for that update, and that's how we wrap up this edition of the news on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Now to end the news with top stories again. President Julius Madabio has appointed Mr. Prince E.O. Cole as the Secretary to the Cabinet and Head of the Civil Service. The appointment, according to State House, was in line with the Constitution of Sierra Leone and was also done in consultation with the Public Service Commission. ECOWAS and its partners, including the European Union, Germany and Spain, have launched 4 projects worth 105 million euros. These initiatives are aimed at strengthening trade competitiveness and market access, improving peace and security, institutional capacity, and enhancing trade in services in the ECOWAS region. An OPEC fund development has committed to funding the Bubuna Hydro Expansion 1 with a $45 million. This confirmation and commitment was made on the margins of the OPEC Fund Development Forum taking place in Austrian capital in Vienna. Well, that's the end of the news on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. Thanks for watching, and do continue to stay tuned to the public broadcaster, the SLBC. More stories will pop up in our 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. editions of News Hour. Coming up next is Good Morning Sierra Leone. I am Cecilia Ali Cisse. Goodbye, and keep watching the SLBC.
You ready for the Zoom meeting today with the investor then?
Yes, boss. I'm ready for the meeting today. And I don't download all the reports they sent to me on the internet.
Make sure so you get super connection, because I don't want one problem during the meeting.
Everything is okay. Everything is fine.
Counting on you, even though we're not in the same office. I will be with you every step of the way.
A place cannot produce poems. It can only not prevent them. And Freetown is good at that, for Freetown has its own sudden elegances. People are slow to leave it, quick to return. And there are others who come for a year or two and stay for a lifetime, sensing that they found a city that is in the world, yet sufficiently on the edge of it to have a different resonance.
Let me tell you something about this city. All of us, we're all just passing through, and we've all been here forever.
Those who came, those who stayed, those who never returned. Tides turn, seasons change. We've waited and we've watched. But we've always been here. We've always listened. Because there is a different resonance here. It comes from the river, and the land, and the sky.
It's our place. All of us.
This city belongs to everyone.
And you know when it's your time.
And it's our time.
Listen, we are Freetown.
We are Freetown!
The golden rules of Freetown.
Don't pretend you're something that you're not.
Don't go thinking you're better than anyone else.
Or that anyone else is better than you.
Don't shout about it. Get on with it.
We are Freetown!
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 Yeah!
We found our voice again.
I'm from India and Freetown.
I'm from China and Freetown.
I'm from the UK and Freetown.
I am from Nigeria and Freetown.
I am from home and Freetown.
This city belongs to everyone.
The fishermen,
the taxi driver,
the barber,
the drummers, the dancers.
All of us.
All of us. Everybody. We are Freetown.
The past is ours.
The future is ours. It's our time again. And this city belongs to everyone.
The playwright,
the greengrocer, the teacher,
the dog.
This space is ours.
This light is ours.
The beaches are ours.
The rivers now we own.
The roads are ours.
The bridges now we own.
We are Freetown.
We are all visitors and we've all been here forever.
We've got the mightiest river
And the biggest sky.
and there's a resonance again.
Freetown, Freetown. We are proud of this place.
We love this city.
And we want you to love it too. We are proud of this place.
Na pass we all dey pass like stranger dem, but we all don dey from them. Come here, and you'll feel it, that end of the line sense of freedom. Say yes to Freetown. Say yes to freedom.
We don't run away.